Hey everyone, so I thought I'd share with you where it all began for me. Now, let me take you back, way back, where it all started. Now, I was born and raised in New Zealand. I'm a native Māori, New Zealander, and I was born in a place called Otahu, in Middlemore Hospital. I was raised in Pocono, deep south of Auckland, or also known as north of Waikato. Look, I moved over to Australia in the year 2000. Why is that? Is because my father decided in 1999 to move over to make a better life for myself and for my mum. Now, I've got two siblings. One's in New South Wales and one's back at home currently. Two brothers. I'm the middle child. And sorry for I'm swiping the flies and stuff. But look, we moved over in 2000 to New South Wales, Sydney, in a place called Lidcombe, 2141. I grew up there most of my childhood, or most of my teenagehood, sorry. That was when I think I was 14 or 15, can't remember. Well, I'm 31 now. I was born in 1987, so what does that make me? Anyway, let me move on forward. I was there 2000 and I did schooling, and I met my wife, my lovely wife, Rini Heta, in 2002, and currently still with her in 2019. Went to school there to a school called Birong Boys High School. Shout out to all the boys. I'm just trying to think. I worked at McDonald's. That was my second job. My first ever job was with my uncle, Uncle Brad Judge. Shout out to my Uncle Brad Judge. He owns a surveying company. Now, that was the pinnacle of where I actually started construction, or in the construction industry. Yeah, and it was great. A lot of experiences there. He taught me a lot. What is surveying? Surveying is, how can I explain it in my terminology? It's where he actually measures the perimeters and stuff around. I've got to get more information about that. I can't remember. All I remember doing is, well, this was back in 2003-4, you know, and all I remember is just holding this prism or something like that, and then yeah, we're going down around doing points and shooting points and stuff and whatnot, just to locate how far the perimeters are for, like, if you're going to build a high rise or a building or surroundings or whatever. Anyway, that was a great come on Terry, a great experience. So once again, Uncle, shout out to you, thank you for that experience. Anyway, moving forward, I managed to get some experiences from McDonald's. Now, I was working there for about a year or two in Lidcombe McDonald's. Oh, whoa, sorry guys. Nearly dropped my phone. And Lidcombe McDonald's, and bring me a little bit of experience. And then after that, I managed to finish work. Managed to finish school in the year 2009. Now, this is where the pinnacle happened for me. Now, I really didn't want to finish school. I really didn't want to go through year 12. I really wanted to because I didn't know where my path was, you know. And anyway, look, long story short, I went home one day. I graduated year 12. This was in the year 2005, and I went home one day and I shared with my father, Dad, I don't know what to do with my life, you know. Life's too. And I was boiling, crying to him, and I was really adamant about where I really wanted to go in life, which I didn't have no answer. And as I said, I went to my dad and he said, and I said, oh, because I was crying, I was really deeply sincere about, you know, I didn't know what to do. And I asked him, Dad, I don't know what to do. And I'll never forget this lesson that he taught me. And he goes, son, listen very carefully. Turn around. So adamantly I turned around, and he goes, bend over. And so I bent over, and guess what happened there? See this? Boot! He kicked me up the ass. And my reaction was, ow! Man, why'd you do that for, Dad? And to his reaction, he goes, son, you better fucking wake up and smell the coffee, mate. And so he grabbed my hand, he took me into the car, and he took me down to his mate to sign me up for an apprenticeship. And the apprenticeship was a Boilermaker. Now, shout out to A1 Welding, Peter Salversberg, the owner, my father's friend. And look, this is where it all happened, guys. And I'm really thankful that my dad kicked me up the ass, because I don't know where I would have been if it wasn't for that little lesson there. But anyway, I started with A1 Welding for in the year 2006, and then I finished up with him in the year 2007 because he had some little bit of problems. I don't know what happened there, but hopefully Peter Salversberg will explain more in depth when I try and catch up to him. But anyway, I finished up there. Props to him for teaching me the ins and outs of boiler making for my first year. Great experience. And then I went on to a company called Highway Sun Visors. Now it's funny I say this because my dad actually worked for them, or worked for a company called Highway Sun Visors, and they're located in Lidcombe. Both of them were, but my dad was a supervisor there, and it's with great pleasure that I got to work with him for my second to fourth year. Anyway, long story short, once again, thank you for Ken and Barbara for giving me the opportunity, hence why I'm a Boilermaker today. Finished my apprenticeship with you guys, and I really do sincerely say this, that I really appreciate your experiences. If it wasn't for me finishing my apprenticeship, I wouldn't be here right now as you speak. By the way, that's a cockatoo there. Anyway, look, I finished in the year 2009 my apprenticeship, and also finished it up with Highway Sun Visors. Now pushing on through, I managed to do a little bit of labouring with my father-in-law at Royal North Shore Hospital, working for Thies. I was basically a labourer, and got a few tickets along the way. Shout out to the big boss, Mark Foster. If it wasn't for your experiences for giving me tickets such as, you know, working at heights, confined space, what else was there? Forklift, and my hoist ticket. Wouldn't be possible without you guys there, Mark. So thank you very much for that, my man. Great experience, great team. I can't remember how many boys were at that Royal North Shore Hospital, located in St Leonards, New South Wales. This was in 2010, I think, 2000 to 2012, and great experience. But it was with privilege that I actually got to work with my father-in-law, which I really appreciate, because it's pretty rare a son like myself works with both fathers, and yeah, I'm just speechless. That really touching for me that I got to work with both fathers. Anyway, let's push on. In 2013, I finished up with these and did a little bit of mucking around here and there with other little bit of agencies for about a year. And in 2014, this is where it all happened, guys. 2014, I caught up with my wife's uncle. I got introduced to in the late 2014. Can't remember what date or anything like that. Don't test me or anything like that. I managed to catch up with Uncle Schooner, and his name's Joe Schooner. And Uncle, look, no doubt I have to give praise to you, because you gave me this current opportunity that I've never taken for granted, and thankful, very privileged. And anyway, this is to Uncle Schooner. You're giving me the opportunity that not many people actually have. And let's take it back to when I was doing an apprenticeship. The brothers and sisters always used to talk to me about, like, you know, getting into the mines. How, man, because you're always talking about the mines, given that you're a boilermaker and doing in TAFE, and because that's obviously where all the money is. Anyway, to you, Uncle, you give me that opportunity that now that I can look back and think to myself that all those years, you know, I've done it, and it's thanks to you that you put me in a line where you introduced me to a cousin of mine, which I didn't know. I don't want to mention his name because it's actually Uncle Joe Schooner's son-in-law, and look, he's the one. I work with him. He actually gave me the opportunity to start with Downer in 2014, beginning of 2015, sorry, and I worked for Downer. Where do I start there? I worked for Downer, and in 2016, so sorry guys, let me just think. So how I actually got into the game was through Uncle Schooner, right? And he put me through to his son-in-law. Now his son-in-law was working for a mob called Downer. In 2015, I managed to join him. He was a supervisor there. We were working at Nelson Point, and I was working as a TA, and that's my introduction to. And I managed to work there. What is it? 2015 to 2016. Shout out to the big boss himself for giving me the opportunity, Miles Cooper. He was the head honcho for Downer. upper management, and he gave me the opportunity to be a TA at Downer since what, 2015 to 2016. And stuttering a little bit, guys. I'm a little bit tired actually, but look, let's kick on through. So I started 2015 to 2016, and from 2016 to beginning of 2017, I went to Karratha. Shout out to Joe for giving me Joe Kaitani for giving me another opportunity to work at Karratha. It was a joint venture for Downer 10X and Downer. Downer 10X, sorry. It was a joint venture where I was still a TA. We were building some tanks, and other than that, after that was 2000. I stopped at 2017 and moved a little bit throughout a company called Linkforce. Now I was with Linkforce for roughly about 5 months, and I managed to bump into one of the brothers called, his name is Bento Della Silva. Thank you for giving me a crack in the MEM, mobile equipment maintenance. He introduced me to a company called All West, and I was there for an engineering company. I was there for what, since 2017 to 2019, and that's basically it, guys. Look, plenty more to share with you, but that's just roughly the overall thanks to the people who really made it happen for me, you know. And it's things like that I do really appreciate. Never forget those lessons, those people around me that made me the person who I am right now. So anyway, guys, I'll let you go. Look, hopefully I've shared a little bit about myself, and I better let you go. You take care and stay safe out there, guys. Bye.